Hello friends, welcome to our new video. This video will talk about Acadonomics. Acadonomics is the academic plus economics. This is the way the education world looked after a pandemic. After pandemic, you know that what is the situation of corona in our country. And we will talking about here the education which will transform from offline to online directly. And now let us say, let us know what is economics. Economics is the economic of moving on to online mode of teaching or learning process. Maybe it's temporary phenomena. Maybe it's temporary. Maybe it's for a small period of time. But maybe it's for something just a mix. Mix in the sense that the temporary plus permanent is equal to mix in the sense this may be permanent because the current scheme of teaching or learning come to share or short or medium terms. That is what is the means to is that this is economics is the economics which mainly apply in economics in academics in our academic teaching which we will strongly transform it speedily from offline to online. Now move forward. What is the academic choices or luxury does not same for all countries across the world. What? Because in India we have a very limited number of choices if we were talking about the courses we want to have and the luxuries we for present in our private institution, because most of the institution in our country have very few opportunities available. If you are teaching a bachelor of technology in any engineering colleges, then you, or if you want to learn robotics, then it's maybe there is a high possibility that you have not have that. This is called robotics is a luxury in most of our institution. This is only an example I were given to you, because if you talk about the United States is called the Mecca of the higher education. United States is the Mecca of higher education because of its availability of courses, the choices students have, and the luxuries. The all almost all people of the citizens of United States and their childrens are pursue easily the private, because there the universities are highly subsidized. Private and state subsidy were highly there. They have endowments policy. They how they can change their academic activities and applied to all their money from alumni of and our industrial mans to they give them as endowment to their fellowship and as a fellowship or research program, or subsidizing their on the fees they give on tuition fees, which will highly increase their quality of education than any other country in the world. Now, for example, if we take that Harvard University, a dream university for most of the students in our country, then they have, but very few people know about the Harvard University, that it have an endowment or a form of debt or a, a form of charity in $40 billion. $40 billion is a huge amount for most of the Harvard people. And if you talking about they are $40 billion is something that is the GDP of many big and small countries if you talking about all together. Because our Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, have a net worth of around $80 billion, which is the half amount of first of endowment of Harvard University. Now you can look at the stats and you can easily talk about the endowment and how they are highly subsidized. And except all of this, the top 10 universities or colleges of the United States between $10 billion to $40 billion of endowment in their debt or in their policies. So we are not able to compete in that form because of the investment we have from our private billionaires or any other person which are living in our country, because they are doing a good job, but they have their own institution. They are not have such type of charity or such type of endowment policy which United States have. If you talk about the private academic institution in India, if we talk about the private academic institution in India, and mostly for the non-profit organization, not for profit making, then there are not have any such buffers type or any such luxuries, or you can talk about any other words in your own language. And none of the institution in our country, in this country, possess a big corpus of the from alumni or scholars or any other professionals, and any other money man or industrialist or any from any other industry. Their survival is mostly depend on the annual income that come from their tuition and the assortment of the fees they collect from their respective students, from their respective number of courses they teach in their institution. So you can look at the stats and you can easily figure out the why the United States called the Mecca of the higher education. Now, you all of know that the COVID-19 situation is, we are around 6 months into the pandemic, and still we have a loss of colossal, a gigantic loss of life and economic damage in the world all over. If we talk about the United States, we have almost 8 to 9% of fall down in their GDP. And we talk about India, if we talk about our beautiful country, then they have almost 23.9, almost 24% of fall down and negative growth in our GDP. Just which have a long lasting effect on our education, and its impact are definitely seen or watchable in our education system, and how it can transform or how can it negatively affect our education industry in India. In a larger perspective, it has also raised a specter of educational institutions shuttering their doors completely, taking unprecedented steps that have affected their jobs and livelihoods in the massive level. Now we come forward to private education. How private education run in India, there is the status quo with respect to the fixed cost remains the same. We will talk about this in the very beautiful way, but before this we will talk about the status quo. Most of the people of us don't know about the status quo. Status quo is the existing state of affair in any state or any country. State of affair Existing state of affair is what, which are currently running in the form of any type of affair or any type of things in any country, is status quo. Their respective status quo, they are, which apply only on their own policy and their own rules. Now this now we come forward to the topic, the private education in India. The status quo with respect to their fixed cost remains the same. Fixed cost remain the same. That what is about the fixed cost? Fixed cost in the sense is the cost of electricity, water bills, and the difference of their salaries in most of the cases for their teachers, and the bills and electricity and water bill for their infrastructure, which they are highly paid or highly borrowed from any other bank in our country, which are taken mostly by their owners. If we talk about for most part of the India, this is fixed and operational cost remain the same, but the infrastructure once created cannot be shrunk. They cannot be shrunk because the infrastructure, the private institutions which spend a lot of money on their respective education, and their quality cannot undermine because they don't know about the COVID-19 and their effect. Well, how long will it take? It's already 6 months. We cannot say that it will last in another 6 months, or after that everything remain the same, or everything will be same it is that this time we were pursuing. Now come forward, the downside of the negative effect of self-financed institution is the institution of the private owners running institution for their particular subject, for IIT, for not for IT, not mainly for the technology is colleges, BTech colleges, or hospitality colleges, that are self-finance institution for the technical as well as for our other programs other programs for students, because the pandemic, because of the pandemic they have a lot of loss of jobs. So students salary or their income with respect to their individual, with respect to them individuality and their family members or their fathers, which are continuously giving money to their children to study in a particular institution, is almost cut, and the student have feel unable to pay the requisite fees which fee are required for, just as for example as a hostel fee they are paying, mess fee they are paying. They are not able to give that money because they have very lack or very shortage of money because of the pandemic. And so there is a placing additional burden on the management. This is a burden on the management which already fails stretch because of the existence commitment. They have already have a lot of commitment about their quality, and so they already paying off interest of money which they borrow from any other banks or any other institution or any other financial institution to improve their infrastructure and to add a new line of businesses which they already run in terms of increasing their quality, enhancing their quality and their campuses. Because if any campuses have a garden, for example, if any educational institution have a big garden, as you all see in any educational institution, especially when they are highly reputed, then they have need a gardener. I will take a very small example, and they have to take care whether it is a pandemic or it is not, but they have to maintain the same time of credibility because they don't know the how much time the pandemic take it and how the situation will be normal. So now come forward with the cost of education. What is the cost of education is now? Cost of education is now come for dual mode. Dual mode in the sense teaching and learning process in the offline and online procedure. Except before the pandemic, everything will be almost online. Before digital India, everything will be online, and after digital India, something are online, but online is only optional. Online education is only optional for students, and it take it as a extra luxury which most of the private institution add just because they want more money. But now it's become requirement, which now the want, now the your demand want become your demand, and you need to more invest money on this topic, on your or enhancing your education quality. So there are few points I will want to discuss the how the cost of education runs. So first thing first we are talking about the scaling operation. The scaling of operation that would include the dual mode, the online and offline, going to be expensive. It's expensive due to dual education delivery, because they have to teach online as well as offline. So even after the pandemic they have to spend their online just because of the habit the students and their parents want. And if they want a quality delivery of their education, that they need to add online and offline compulsory is a big keyword here, just because before the pandemic only offline system are enough, but now we need online plus offline. That if any institution have do not online and offline facility, then they will not compare this good or any up to the mark, their ranking will be very poor. So if they want to increase their ranking, their quality, they must add online and offline courses. These are the demand of one. Now want become your demand. And when now the new social distancing norm would also lead negative effect of their businesses because of the smaller class sizes. Because just think in this way, if you have any bench or you have five people sit on that bench, now because of the pandemic you don't have, the government did not give you order to sit five students on the same bench. That you only need to you need one person in one bench, and you need to cut four students, and so there are limited number of seats available in the class, and you need to extra kharch on your infrastructure, so you can highly two or three more students you can sit in any class. And so which the fees you get from the five students, you have now only one students. So this is approximately your massive it normally in out of 100% you have 80% loss directly, or sometime it would be 800%. So they have to increase their cost just to meet their requirement. Now come to second point. The online teaching also bring increased cost of IT infrastructure. They have to increase their IT infrastructure, their network bandwidth. They have to invest money, their better server, cloud resources is required mostly for the storage for the data they deliver through their teaching for a big time, for long period of time. They need to a cloud resources from them. They can save their online teaching storage in the massive way. They have to need a software licensing fees. They have all of the second point I have discussed is all is extra additional cost. So now come forward to two three. Now point three indicate that the online teaching means the new hiring. You need to hire new people, new tech savvy people from mostly from the IT sector, and which increase your cost due to engagements and engagement with MOOCs. MOOCs is massive open online courses. MOOCs, massive open online course is already running in our country. If you did not know about it, you need to comment in the box if you want to separate video on MOOCs and all their courses they are running. And if you want to Hindi version of this video, then you can also go to the description box and you can see the Hindi version of this video. Hindi version of this video is available on description, and our pages links are given in our description box and our other online platforms. For this they have to need new hiring. For this they have to increase their cost due to engagement with the massive open online courses and other online platforms. Now come to fourth. Online teaching means setting up a multiple studio. They have to need more than one studios and educational technology center, and translate into investment in high technology. Translate into investment is high technology. Then you need high technology. Your teaching will you need a multiple studio. You need to invest more. Now come to five. Your fifth point indicate the creation of virtual laboratories. You have now laboratories of chemical laboratories which you can use in your schools or colleges or any other institution where you are reading, or any pendulum for physics laboratories. But now you need a virtual laboratory where you can easily learn through their home without any extra effort. You can do so. The institution need to do more for teaching you great way in a great way. Virtual laboratories which do their best job through their studios and their examination center. They have to create everything through virtual laboratories, which is another, or which is another increase their cost. And so their finances all go high, which already depletes their finances, so they have to invest more. Finally, it is a very wrong perception to say that everyone is good in online teaching. They have to adapt. They are proficient in online teaching because the style and delivery go far beyond their donning a jacket. Is just like far beyond their donning a jacket. Not having adequate personal grooming, and they have like they don't know, mostly of you don't know about the teleprompter. Teleprompter is the device which you can add in your camera. If you are talking in front of camera, just most of the journalists and a huge people like presidents of America and some of the people use teleprompter, because teleprompter is showing you speech and you can look after the camera, and just below camera you can see on teleprompter how the word are written, and you can easily deliver your message, your message through teleprompter. If you don't want to know more about the teleprompter, then you just comment in our YouTube channel in this video about our WhatsApp teleprompter, what is teleprompter, and I will tell you about more. If you want to separate video on teleprompter, then I will deliver it also you. And therefore additional funds will be allocated to train the faculty for online teaching. You need to additional funds to have allocated for to train the faculty, because the people you are hiring a non-technical background, you need to teach them what the technicality of the online education, how you teach them, and how you teach them effectively, and if you are hiring a technical guy, then maybe then you need to train them in their how to bring enhance their education, and how to teach something which in our country in India, a bachelor of education, a B.Ed course available, which most of the students pursue, and they can go in many primary or junior high school, and different types of institutions, and they earn more. And now way ahead, what is the solution of? Because Einstein said, Elon Musk say, looking for the solution is the biggest problem. Einstein also say that looking for the solution is the biggest problem. Problem is not your problem, your solution, looking for the solution is your biggest problem. So only talk about the solution. And now what is the solution of economics in the form of economics, we will talk about here. And responsibility come on center and state government to provide soft loan, the online transfer, through online transfer, and which students to stay their educational courses, because they just like they are giving central and the state government giving the education loan, just like they have the responsibility to provide the students soft loans, so they can stay with their educational courses for a long period of time. And the professional and non-professional courses also needed, and the natural tendency for the student to opt for online courses just because they want to spend less, because they are on their student and they have no source of income, so they want to cut their hostel mess travel cost, and so their first choice is online courses. At the same time, the student looking at online instruction will decline to pay the same fee charge for offline instruction, which means the same institution may well have shut down due to their inability or to meet cost. That is, at the same time, the students who is looking for online instruction, they don't want to pay for offline instruction, which means the institution have less number of funds, just because they could not generate because of the students who do not want to pay them. Now, we can say that in the long run, technology, maybe technology can flatten the cost due to economic scale in the long run. But if we talk about the short frame of time, that is the 3 to 5 years, the cost of education will likely go up. What is the mean of this? This means is that in the long run, if you're talking about the long run in the sense means 5 to 15 year, 15 year, 20 year, and short frame is 3 to 5 year or up to 5 years. The cost of education in this period of time we are currently running, this time you need to educate, the cost of education is likely, and mostly chances are going to increase, and you need to pay more for any online education, just because of the shifting method did not clear in through online offline to online education, and so you need to pay more, and the institution want have to invest extra funds to increase studio and enhance their technology, they have to hire IT sector peoples, and so the cost of education is go up. And but maybe in the long run technology can everything will be go normal, and you need to pay just as it is you are paying now on any courses before pandemic. So it may be exaggerate to say that it may be exaggeration to say that in India, the education and financial model are inverted as opposed to many other. Because so are many people are opposed the education and financial models, and there is a although there is a good quality of private school education, one but one that is fairly expensive. They are expensive, they have mostly luxurious, and you need to pay more. Their fees are extremely high, and they have a good quality of higher education is subsidized in relation to direct cost, because we have so many private school education which have highly subsidized through government or any other person particular person, and which and they have a good quality of education in high in good quality of education subsidized rate. Now why replicating? Replicating means copying the any Western model in India. Why replicating any Western model in India? It may not be wholly appropriate. Educational institution could come to treat like any corporate body. As is the point of this matter is that any educational institution in India did not treat it like any corporate body. Corporate is different, education is different, their work culture is different, their way to proceed to earn money to teach person are very different, and so with a allowable of small margin of profit, because education have a very less margin of profit and corporate create more. The corporate model addresses not just financial sustainability but also a professional governance structure that would entail a better accountability and holistic education. So educational institute could come to be treated like any other corporate body. It is not appropriate, just as the Western country in America or any other country this is already running. Now economics of future. Economics of future, we can easily say from the all of the argument we are running from past previous 20 minutes, we can say that the future will not only decide the fate of the academic sector. The future academics of the future will not only able to decide the fate of academic sector in India, but its quality, ranking, research, innovation potential, and collective impact or growth of any of country's economy like India. Economics of the future will decide in the future time quality ranking. If your economics is better in any educational institution, they have high quality, they are considered as by many students and parents high quality, high ranking, research, higher research post research and innovation potential. They have a more research program, and its collective impact of their country's economy or GDP will growing just because of economic. That is the effect of economics. So these topics create so importance in our education or our education system. So that's all from our side. Thank you for watching this video. This video is presented by Tiska. You can WhatsApp me for any more information, and for the video you want to get link or any product you want, you can contact our WhatsApp number triple eight double one eight double three two nine. Tiska, you can contact our email address, and you can go to our website on Tiska. You can go to the description box, and if you want, and you can see the link of Hindi of this video, you can easily create, and you want to PDF of this video, then you can also take it on our comment section, which are pinned by Tiska in the above corner, in the above. And so thank you for watching, and have a nice day. And if you do not like know about our Facebook pages, then go to the description and see various links we are provided. Follow us on Instagram, and thank you. Bye bye, and take care.